All right. Good evening, everyone. Wherever you're at, if it's good morning, then good morning. Tala from Kingdom Within here. I couldn't help myself but go live today because I was sort of motivated by if you guys know Terry from Flat Out Truth, his channel is amazing, and God's just working through that man every day, and he's the one that motivated me to spread this truth, to make you guys aware of these things. As you guys can see right now, you're looking at the flat earth models. I mean, some of them are trolling images, specifically this one here. That's definitely not how it's supposed to look, but you get the point. So I would say the best one on this website here is, as far as a sculpted model goes, this one is pretty nice. But we all know that, you know, we can't get an accurate model of our flat earth. So this one I thought was pretty nice. There's a lot more out there that are very nice too, and makes you want to ask the question. But anyway, this is the other one here, the square and stationary earth. This is one of my favorite ones that I like using because it sort of shows that the center is elevated higher, and in my opinion, I feel like the center is the axis mundi, the North Pole, Garden of Eden, if you will. And then I feel like the reason why it's so icy and cold in the center and on the outer edges is because they are the highest elevations, but the center being even higher, slightly higher. But anyway, the reason why I wanted to go live was because I really wanted to show you guys, especially the globe earthers. This is like, if you're a Christian and if you're a Bible reader and you believe, you know, wholeheartedly that the Bible is indeed true, then you have to watch this. So anyway, as you guys can see, the thumbnail, I gave a scripture in I believe it's Isaiah chapter 40 verse 22. And in that passage, it says here in the King James Version, it says, "It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers, that stretcheth out the heavens as a curtain, and spreadeth them out as a tent to dwell in." Now, that sounds pretty straightforward, right, guys? There's no, you know, complication into what this is saying to us people. It literally sounds like there's a tent, which is a dome, the firmament that is above us, and then below you have us and the land and water. We are as the grasshoppers to Father. So literally he is above us. That's quite amazing, especially when I first my first initial feelings and thoughts were quite emotional when I first found out in 2017, and yeah, I was just amazed, and I wasn't even biased towards the globe, a heliocentric model. I just wanted to know the truth. You know, there was no biased opinion as, oh no, I'm gonna believe what the heliocentric model shows me because that's what everyone else believes. I'm not that type of person to begin with. So whatever's true, whether it hurts me or not, The truth is the truth. So yeah, but I wanted to show you guys different translations. This one here is the King James Version, and it says right there, the circle. It is he that sitteth upon the circle. Now, before I go any further with the other translations, let's go to the definition of circle. I'll do this with you guys. Okay. I mean, common sense wise, when we think of circle, you know it's a circle. You know it's a circle. But let's just go to the definition here. And it says, a round plane figure. Those first three words. A round plane figure whose boundary, the circumference, consists of points equidistant from a fixed point, the center. A group of people with shared professions, interests, and I don't know what that is. But basically it's a circle, which is flat. It's not a sphere, it's not oblate, it's a circle. Now that we know that, let's look at a ball definition. Or, you know what, let's do sphere. So a sphere, a round solid figure, or its surface, with every point on its surface equidistant from its center, an area of activity, interest, or expertise, a section of society, or an aspect of... This is weird. It seems as if they're changing the definitions on Google. But in simple terms, we know what a sphere is. It's shaped as a circle when looking at it head on. It definitely looks like a circle, but it's not. It's a sphere. The most simplest example I can give you is a soccer ball or a basketball. It's not hard to understand what a sphere is like, so now that we got that out of the way, let's look at the other translations. Isaiah chapter 40 verse 22, this is the New King James Version, and it says here, it is he who sits above, again, the circle of the earth. Okay? And its inhabitants are like grasshoppers, who stretches out the heavens like a curtain, and spreads them out like a tent to dwell in. New King James Version. Let's head on over to the NLT, the New Living Translation. It says here, God sits above, again, the circle of the earth. The people below seem like grasshoppers to him. Of course, he spreads out the heavens like a curtain and makes his tent from them. Let's head on over to the NASB, the New American Standard Bible. And it says, it is he who sits above, again, the circle of the earth. And its inhabitants are like grasshoppers, who stretches out the heavens like a curtain, and spreads them out like a tent to live in. One second, guys. I'm sorry. 1 second. I'm having a technical difficulty here. 1 second, if you can just bear with me. Alright, I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, so as I'm reading the comments here, I see Airy Pages saying no comment reading today. No, I'll be reading comments. I definitely will, but before I do that, I like to explain what I came on to do first hand, and then when I'm done with that, I like to go ahead and take a look at the comments. But please bear with me. I'll definitely read comments today. So in fact, I'll look at the one that you just asked. Thoughts of polygamy for well-to-do men for non-Mormons. Thoughts on polygamy for well-to-do men for non-Mormons. Quick answer, that is a sin. I don't believe in that. Those who practice polygamy are going to hell if they continue to live in that fashion. So that is my answer to that. But anyways, let me just go back to but thanks for the question though, Airy Pages. Appreciate that. Let's go back to the New American Standard Bible. It is he who sits above the circle of the earth, and its inhabitants are like grasshoppers, who stretches out the heavens like a curtain and spreads them out like a tent to live in. Basically what the past three versions that I showed you guys, translations. And of course it uses the word circle. Let's go to the ESV, the English Standard Version. And it says here, it is he who sits above the circle of the earth, and its inhabitants are like grasshoppers. Again, the circle. This is the fifth translation that I'm showing you guys that is using the specific word circle. And again, and its inhabitants are like grasshoppers, who stretches out the heavens like a curtain and spreads them like a tent to dwell in. I have one more translation here for you guys, and this is the NIV. It's another popular one, but it's one that I don't really read as much. When I'm comparing it to other verses, I do, but for the most part, I don't read it for my default translation. But this one also says he sits enthralled above the circle of the earth, and its people are like grasshoppers. He stretches out the heavens like a canopy and spreads them out like a tent to live in, folks. It can't get any better than this. It can't get any more clearer than this. The circle, guys. Not a sphere, not a ball, not a globe. The circle. And those of you who were tuned in earlier, I just explained and showed you the definition what circle means compared to ball or sphere. It's quite it's common sense, right? Excuse me. But it's people will try and complicate things as much as they can just to get their narrative in your mind, and just to persuade you to believe what this false heliocentric model has been for the past 350 years. It's crazy. Like, those of you who are still globe earthers and believe the heliocentric model, I pray that you humble yourself and read and number one, humble yourself. That is the number one thing. And humiliation is another thing that will help you out too, because there's a lot of humility that goes along with being a flat earther. I hate saying that, being a flat earther. I hate using that, but that's the best thing that majority of us use. But if it was just me, I'll use, the earth. I believe in the true earth's shape, so yeah. Humble yourself, that's one. Humility, that's two. And be what's it called? Be true to yourself. When you're looking for truth, have true intent. Unless your agenda is to manipulate for some reason, there are people out there that are like that. In fact, majority of them are. People are selfish. That is a fact. People can be very conniving and manipulative, and they'll do whatever it takes just to have their way and make you believe what they feel is true. And it's even crazier because there's some people out there who know the truth, such as NASA. They know the truth. They know the earth is flat and stationary. They know it for a fact. If you go to NASA.com and you look into the archives, there's a section, I believe it's a section 163, and I could be wrong, but if you look in the archives in that section, it'll tell you, it'll show you that they knew the earth was flat and stationary. And then of course, when they supposedly visited the moon, which is false, it's a lie, they started changing things. But that's what Satan's job is. This is why most people who believe in the millennial reign of Christ already happening believe that we are in the time of the little season, where Satan is out to deceive for just a little season. So this is why things are the way it is now. There's just so many deception, and it's in the movies, it's in the papers, it's online, social media. It's very sad, but this is why we have no excuse to not know truth. You have it in front of your face. There's no excuse. Everyone, for the most part, knows what the Bible is, and it's not like it's impossible to get one. You can read numerous translations, depending on what version you like best or go off of. But, like I said, humbleness, humility, true intent. Those are the three things that I feel, if you are the type of person who wants to know the truth and you feel like there's more to life than just death, do your research. And coming from me, just my recommendation would be my recommendations would be to read His Word, the Bible. And of course, if you want to go beyond that, I don't think it's wrong to read the Book of Enoch or any other book. It is up to you to discern and differentiate what's true from fiction. So that is up to you guys. But anyways, let me look at the comments right now. Only 4 people in here, which is fine. Airy Pages, glad to hear it's a simple sin. Makes it simpler for me to decide on it. Well, the reason why it is just a simple sin, it's a sin, period, is because it's adultery and fornication, basically. Because if you're married to one and then you decide to get married to a second, third, you're committing adultery. You're just committing adultery. It's all adultery. So you're not supposed to commit adultery according to the 10 Commandments and the 4 Gospels. the Son actually speaks about that, Yeshua. And for those of you who know him as Jesus, yeah. But we have a few verses on monogamy being the only way other than the verse about bishops. I mean, verses for regular people to be monogamous, not bishops. I'm not sure if I totally understand that question, but my question to you is, if you don't mind me asking, Ari, are you by any chance a Latter-day Saint? Because I'm noticing you're asking these questions about a lot of LDS questions, Mormon. If you're still there, that is. Oh, okay. Perfect. That's basically like myself. I don't follow any denomination as well. I just choose to believe in whatever the word says, and I don't really support any denomination but his word and what I feel to be, what I know to be true. Oh wow, so you're saying I'm interested in having 2 wives for the purpose of 10 plus kids, not an LDS. Oh yeah, that is definitely against the word of God. To have 2 wives is to commit adultery. Like I said, I'm not the creator. I'm not the one that you answer to. I'm just another human being like you who researches and believes in the word and abides by it. Ever since I repented, I haven't committed any of those sins, and I'm not saying that out of boast. I'm speaking the truth, and it has nothing to do with boast. It's because of him I can be the way I am now. It is all because of Yeshua. The world is definitely flat and stationary. I've been told the short season would be roughly 250 years. So maybe 2025, 2030 is when the 250, which means final judgment is near. Yeah, I couldn't really pinpoint that. All I can do is live it one day at a time and go from there. You know, I'm not worried about what's going to happen the next day. In fact, in the book of Matthew, Jesus speaks about that, or Yeshua speaks about that. Do not worry about the next day, for today has its worries. So I'm not worried about what's going to happen in the future. I can speak about it and we can fellowship about it. But as far as being worried about it and like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen this time, or what's going to happen next week or next month or next year, focus on the day. And it's important to be that way, because once you learn to be that way, you can make the most important decisions on that day instead of waiting for tomorrow. You know, because tomorrow may never come. But yeah, for the most part, I believe that we are in the short season now. Manu says, I believe we are in the short season now. By the way, though, if you don't know, Manu, Saint Cecilia Talotu, is my wife. She has a YouTube channel herself that you can go ahead and check out. She does music. I also do music, but not as much as she does. But if you want to go and check her out, go ahead and I'll put her link in the description. Yeah, most definitely. But yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and call this stream. I said what I needed to say. But before I go, I want to show you guys that on my merch store, there is more options and more things that you can purchase here. Before I only had a shirt. Now I have a hoodie, iPhone 13 case. It's actually the whole line of the iPhone 13. A laptop sleeve, and since summertime is right around the corner, I got a tank top, the new Samsung S22 line phone case. I've got black and white Kingdom Within hat, and it comes in black as well, all black. And one of my popular ones right now is the Kingdom Within white glossy mug. And then if you go to the top of the website to the right and click on the shopping bag, scroll down, click on the black button, view all, and there's 3 more products for women. One of them is sold out. It's a hoodie, but it will be available soon. I've got, of course, the females t-shirt, and then women's sweatpants. So yeah, there you guys have it. Feel free to go ahead and support if that's what you wish. But other than that, you guys be safe out there and stay blessed. Until next time.